Hey everybody, Dave here. I just wanted to do a really short video of a sound teaser pack number 2. I'm going to be doing 2 songs, or just parts of them, because of copyright issues. I don't want to play the whole song and that kind of thing, so I'm just going to show you a quick part of each song. So one of them is Rebel Yell by Billy Idol, and then the other one's going to be Take On Me by a-ha. And I just wanted to kind of demonstrate 2 quick things. So the first thing was I wanted to show you how accurate the sounds are. My whole focus is on being accurate with these sounds, still making them usable in a live environment, but I really wanted to focus on making sure that what you hear coming out of the Kronos is the same thing that you hear coming out of the album. The second thing I wanted to show you was how I laid things out. So I used the Korg Nano pad. I realized some people have 61 key keyboards, 73, 88. Some people have external boards that they use, MIDI controllers, and so on. So I really wanted to try and make these sounds as flexible as possible. So I wanted to show you just a couple of things that I've done that you'll be able to use in your own setup when you're playing live. So first things first, I'm just going to play a quick excerpt of the Rebel Yell. Again, copyright stuff, I don't like infringing, and I don't want to get into that area. So I'm just going to play a short demo, and then I'm going to stop the music. But I'll keep playing so you can hear that the sound that you're hearing in the context of the band is actually the Kronos. It's not, I'm not doing any trickery. What you're hearing is actually the Kronos. So let me see if I can do this real quick here. So this is actually the Kronos making this bell sound. So again, in context, so you can hear that it's exactly like the real thing. And then it goes to kind of this pad thing. So you've got this lead sound, so you can hold the low pad. And the vibrato is either like on the joystick Y, or you can just press and hold, and when you push like aftertouch, okay, so it's straight. Aftertouch gives you the vibrato. Okay, and it does combine them, so you can make it really extreme if you wanted to. So that's a quick kind of demo for Rebel Yell, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the things that I've been working on. And on top of that, there's also, later on in the song, there's this kind of lead sound that goes like this. That's also the same sound that does, like, when it's holding these pads. Whatever the part is. I haven't rehearsed it, but I've kind of picked up on a couple things as I've been programming it. So now it is not monophonic, so you can get that real nasty kind of gritty sound, right? Or I've also included controller options. So if instead of holding the pads, right, instead of doing this, or even, I mean, I guess you could hold the octave. If you're just using the lead sound by itself, pulling back on the joystick gives it a little bit more grittiness, a little bit more distortion, and it adds an extra layer that really kind of fattens it up too, right? So you can do some neat stuff with that. And if you wanted to use it as a lead sound totally on its own, you know, all of the stuff is in here to be able to do that. So you want to use it for this song, great. You don't want to use it for this song, but you have another place that you think it would go great, it's all yours. The other thing that I wanted to take a look at too was the intro to Take On Me. So this one is, from a playing perspective, pretty busy. I think there's like 3 or even potentially 4 keyboard parts happening, 3 for sure. So I tried to fit as much possible as I could on one keyboard. And this is where that option for having other external MIDI devices comes in really handy and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to kind of play the intro, and then I'll talk about how I approached putting this together. idea here is there's a few things happening. Right off the bat, again, when I was talking about accuracy, it wasn't just accuracy of the sounds themselves, like how they sound, but how they operate as well, which is a huge thing for me to try and make sure that that's accurate as well. For example, in this opening sound, I don't know if the keyboard player lifted his pinky or if it was intentional or if it was just the polyphony of the keyboard he was using, but it only plays 4 notes. This lowest note actually drops off. As soon as you hit that high note, that lowest one goes away. So what I did is I recreated that inside the Kronos by limiting it to 4 notes of polyphony. I'm assuming this is maybe how it was done in the studio. But regardless, if you listen close enough, you can hear that it cuts out. So I included it. Then you've got this big pad on the left hand. And then we come into the main theme. So what I've done here is I've included multiple ways to play this. There are, excuse me, I think 3 keyboard parts happening here. So there's this big 2-handed pad, which is playing something like this. Right, something along those lines. I've put those on the nano pad, so you've still got them there, and that's how I was using them. You've got the main sound or the main theme sound on the right. Then there's also the small pad here. There's also a velocity bell. So when you play a little bit harder, you get this bell sound as well. And I've included that on the nano pad as well. So you can do this. And what it does is it gives you the whole pad. Well, it includes the bell sound. Excuse me. So, again, it operates on velocity. Now, the other thing that I've mentioned was the ability to control this however you want. If you don't want to have this low part, like this low synth, and so you're doing the 2-hand, you can just do the pads. And then you can still have that bell option. Right? You just play harder. So you can still include that if you have like a bass player and you don't want to interrupt the low end. You don't want to, have frequencies overlap and that sort of thing live. So there's a bunch of different ways that you could approach this. And from a MIDI control perspective, you can do this however you want. So they're all in the combi mode, so you can control, what MIDI channels are being controlled by what. And so all the sounds are in there. So that all being said, I just wanted to give you that quick demo and give you that quick teaser. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in, I guess down there would be where it is. Or you can send me a direct message, or if you're on the Korg forums, I'm there as well. So either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. So thanks so much.